Well, good evening. Not good morning, good evening. It's relatively late. Well, not late, but late enough. And again, I have Tessa out, which, you know, I want this to be an ongoing thing so you can see her actual progression and whether, you know, what I do and what I say is does work or doesn't work, I guess. You know, remembering that each and every snake is an individual, and what some accept earlier on, others actually don't. But I don't know if you can actually see, but Tessa has quite a olive green in her as well, and that's starting to come out. She hasn't shed as yet, but she's due for a feed tomorrow. So but you know, I wanted you to just see her progression. She is still flighty when I go in to actually get her out, but once I kind of get her out, she's starting to very much loosen up. She's not so nervous of this hand anymore. It's not like she's, you know, got those eyes in the back of her head and she's concerned about what's going on beside her at the back of her anymore, which is a good thing. She's more curious now about what is, like the tripod. What is that? Can I crawl on that, Mum? Which, you know, she's little enough to do it and not really knock it over, but right now I'm wanting to handle her and get her used to my hands, my smell, and me. And she is doing really well, guys. She hasn't struck at me in the last few handlings, and I haven't videoed every one of them because it would just get too boring, guys. But she's certainly doing, you know, a whole lot better. But really what I want to, you know, I just don't want to talk about look at what I'm doing and do what I'm doing. I really want to talk about, you know, fearing snakes and the why of that. And I guess it's so easy from where I sit, and you can't see my face, but I want you to see this beautiful girl. The why and what of that. It's easy for me to sit here and say, oh yeah, but you have no fear. Or no, I don't have a fear, and no, I'm not afraid of them. But I'm not complacent about these guys either. You know, there is, as much as I know each and every one of them, and I'd like to be able to say I can tell you 100% that none of them are going to bite you, except for maybe this little girl. That would be false of me to say. You know, I can probably be 99% sure that my bigger snakes and so forth, and even my little ones, but this one, will not bite you. But there is always that 1%, always that 1%, and that I can tell you would be more pertaining to human error than it is the snake's error. Now, in terms of little Missy here, her reasons for biting me would be purely out of fear. Not because she wants to kill me or anything like that. She's biting me because she is afraid. And you know, I try to explain that to people, that snakes are not out to bite us at all. And when asking the question, you know, what is the fear that you have about them, it's generally, more often than not, the biting. Some say, you know, about wrapping around their neck and choking them to death, or I think that would probably be the two main things I hear is, you know, wrapping and they can't breathe and you die, or just being bitten because it hurts. Well, yeah, bites can hurt, I guess. I mean, Tessa bit me on the knee and you heard me go, ouch, because it was an ouch moment. And especially, I think, more than anything, I was completely not expecting my kneecap to actually cop it. But she decided that the kneecap was as good a place as any to crunch. But like I said, she has not done that since that particular video. But as you can see, she's not interested in me. She's only interested in what she can get into, which is what I like to see, is that curiosity in a snake. So, you know, I guess fear of them comes from the adults in the world that have grown up with a fear of them because of the adults that they've been around or where they come from. And especially if there are a lot of venomous snakes, which we do have here too, but you know, in those third world countries and so forth, where if you get bitten and anti-venom and so forth isn't readily available, and it can be, you know, death, you would have a fear of them. The problem is it becomes a fear of all snakes, not just the non-venomous sort. And you know, here in Australia, you know, I have New Zealand friends that come from New Zealand, that's obvious, where there are no snakes, and so they have a fear. They watch these dreadful movies about these massive anacondas that attack and kill, and of course we, as snake owners, even know with an anaconda that isn't how it is either. So fear to lose it is to educate yourself, to expose yourself, and take the time to understand these beautiful creatures a little better. And you know, even this little Missy here is absolutely beautiful, and yeah, she could turn around at any second and decide to give me a bite, but I'm giving her absolutely no reason to want to bite me. So she's not biting me. Am I fearful that she will? No. Am I fearful that Jack would? No. But would I want Jack to bite me? No, thank you. That would be not a pleasant experience, and not only that, I wouldn't have a good arm or anything wherever he managed to get me for a while. Would I go to the hospital or the doctor and say my snake bit me? No. If I needed stitches even, would I go to the doctor or the hospital? No. And the reason why my answer is no is because they have a bad enough rap as it is, and I am certainly not going to be somebody that adds to that bad rap about these guys. You know, if one of them were to bite me that severely, it would be my blinking stupidity, and there is no way that I'm going to go somewhere where all they're going to think is, yeah, bloody snakes. Typical. They're dangerous and they bite people, and because that's not the case. And in all these years, it's been this little bugger that has bitten me 3 times. And in several years, I don't think that's too bad actually. So, that's my video. Educate yourself. You know, not everybody is interested in getting over that fear and don't want to expose themselves to a snake to actually get over that fear. And I'm not saying you must go and do it, and that's something that you have to do. But what I am saying is, I would like people to keep their judgment to themselves. I would rather a person who doesn't like them and fears them and all the rest of it to just shut their mouth about it, rather than going around and saying to people they're horrible, nasty, bitey, kill you animals, because that's telling a lie. So if you don't like snakes, because that is your opinion of them, okay. But you don't need to tell everybody. You don't need to tell your children an untruth, actually, is what you're telling them, something that isn't true. Allow them to grow up, make their own opinion. So guys, that's pretty much all I've got to say about it. And Miss Tessa, you are going really quite green, and I don't know if you can see the green, and as you can see, I am able to certainly rub her more. She does not stiffen, she does not flinch. The only time she flinches if there is a bump onto her back. Otherwise, no. There's absolutely nothing there anymore. And good on Tessa. That's all I can say for the trust in me. And I thank her for it. You know, I'm your mum, and I'm going to take good care of her. And I think she's beginning to understand that that is my intent, and for there to be absolutely no harm. I'm not allowing even Noah to handle her because I want it done to where she's not frightened, and that can set us back, and I don't want that to actually happen. So don't fear them. Learn to just make no judgment one way or the other if you haven't got anything nice to say about them. It's not fair to them, ouch, I'm just leaning on a button here. It's not fair to them. So guys, from me and this little beauty, I'm going to say good night. See, I'm tired because I'm losing my words. It's been a long day and I really needed. I've had Jessie out, I've had Lacey out. A very stressful day. So I got my snakes out because they certainly alleviate all that tension and all that stress that I've had. So they do me a massive favour too by calming me down, getting rid of that stress, don't you, Tess? Even if you might bite me if I do the wrong thing. So guys, thanks for watching again, as always, and I will be back soon with more videos. Ciao.